super being could be coming to the MCU, Marcus Milton, aka Hyperion, which sounds quite exciting if you know who Hyperion is, and if you take into account that it could be Henry Cavill in the role. Then the excitement is through the roof. Which brings me to today's topic of me giving you a first look into the character, as well as his arrival to the MCU. Both the reasons and why it could all make sense. The ever-growing MCU has no shortage of characters. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. But the other concerning thing regarding the characters from the Marvel Universe is to how many more Marvel Studios is ready to implement into their beloved MCU. And if you take a look at all the projects that are coming our way, you can see that there are a lot of new big-time players coming in, from the likes of Marvel's first family in the Fantastic Four, the Mutants after Disney's acquisition of the rights for the characters from 20th Century Fox, all the way to some of the lesser-known heroes and villains. And one of these new characters, who is both a hero and a villain in the Marvel Comics, could potentially be Marcus Milton, aka Hyperion. The character made his first debut in 1969. So yeah, he is a pretty odd chap in the Avengers issue 69 and was created by Roy Thomas and Sal Buscema. After his debut, a lot of other variants of the character came through, but they were all from different universes, with each of them somehow winding up on either side of the coin, presenting themselves as both heroes and villains. Created to be Marvel's Superman, the character's arsenal of weapons and abilities is through the roof, so you might see why his status in the MCU could be of utmost importance, especially in the upcoming battle against the time traveler Kang the Conqueror, as well as one of the biggest events to happen in the Marvel Comics, the Secret War storyline, which is getting an adaptation in the MCU by the end of 2025. He is a super being that arrived on Earth as a baby and was sent from a dying world as the sole survivor of the race of the Eternals from that planet. A human named Father raised him under the name of Marcus Milton, who also taught him the morals of society, with Marcus becoming a superhero after becoming an adult. A superhero we know in today's present that goes under the name of Hyperion. Most of his life he spent fighting alongside his team members that were all part of the group called Squadron Supreme. One day, his universe started colliding with another, a process called incursion. That was first mentioned in the latest Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and something I think will have a huge impact on the events to come in the MCU, with many of these incursions being the reason why Earth's mightiest heroes will try to stop Kang the Conqueror, with the battle somehow leading up to the aforementioned Secret War storyline to get adopted. While trying to prevent the destruction of reality, Hyperion gets left in the void his universe once occupied, with him being the only survivor of the whole event. Floating in nothingness, a group of scientists, part of a so-called AIM, which stands for Advanced Idea Mechanics, from another universe managed to pull him out of the void to their reality, where he spends a lot of time in captivity until the Avengers free him, who offer him a place in their ranks. One of his first missions as a member of the group was to free the captives held by the likes of Ex Nihilo, Abyss, and Aleph. One of his missions that followed led him towards Savage Land, where he found the Children of the Sun, a race of evolved beings created from an origin bomb, a race that was later under Hyperion's care after the Avengers fell under S.H.I.E.L.D. authority, a time when Hyperion decides to leave the group and spend his lifetime elsewhere, with the Children of the Sun, to be more precise. After Earth 616 came back into existence, he joined the Squadron Supreme team, where he spent a lot of his life, with the group's adventures leading him to hit that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality, his time with the group led him towards Weird World, and after a few mishaps, the whole team comes back to Earth, and the rest is history. This is probably a little more than what you should know about the character, but here it is. And now I think it is time to see where the idea of Hyperion joining the MCU sometime in the future came from, right? Not many people are talking about the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings movie, especially the two post-credit scenes of the movie. One of them shows Zhu Xiling as the new leader of the Ten Rings organization. However, the other scene sees Wong asking Shang-Chi and Katie to come with him, where the origins of the Ten Rings is discussed, and that is one of the most powerful artifacts in the MCU, and it's more than 1,000 years old, or even much more than that. Wong also reveals that they are homing beacons transmitting a mysterious message, and when a beacon of sorts is mentioned, especially one that transmits some kind of a message, many would point their focus towards Silver Surfer's board, which was acting as a tracker for Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie, which leads Galactus to Earth. So if we go by Wong's analysis, which suggests that the rings are around 7,000 years old, it means that they would be related to the Eternals, explaining why the Mandarin was not aging since he got a hold of them. Thus, the 10 rings beg the question, who is the original owner of them? And the Eternals did not say a word about them. So could it be that the 10 rings belong to Hyperion? A theory that should not be admitted, seeing how he is an Eternal from a different universe, but still very much alive in today's present. Hence, with the multiverse wide open and many incursions coming MCU's way, as per Doctor Strange's sequel post-credit scene, I could see a reality where Marcus Milton, aka Hyperion, is coming to Earth to take back what is his for the taking. Another leak that should not be quickly annulled is the one that came through the Loki series that explored the concepts of the multiverse and its variants like no other project from Marvel before. Along with the filming process of the second season of the series, came through a new leak from a very known MCU leaker at Cinestealth, who claimed that Marvel is considering casting none other than Henry Cavill as Marcus Milton, aka Hyperion, for the second season of Loki. The leaker also added that Hyperion's debut will coincide with the show's introduction of Squadron Supreme, the group I talked about before, and that Marvel intends to make the group something like what the Boys group in the Boys series presents itself to be, some kind of an evil version of the Justice League that hails from another timeline. And if that was not enough, the group will supposedly work as Kang's enforcers in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, hence their introduction in the Loki series, and that Marvel is not only casting the most famous Superman in their MCU, but also for him to play an evil version of his most famous role. As always, make sure to take this leak with a grain of salt, as it could only be a rumor, a speculation, and nothing more. That is, if nothing is confirmed regarding this leak, and if the leak becomes a reality, then this is the place you heard it first. As for Henry Cavill, make sure to see him smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. But no, on the more serious side of things, look at what a fan art can do to an actor and the role he could supposedly do with his Loki-inspired fan art, with Henry in the role of Hyperion. All in all, it is not entirely impossible for us to see the Squadron Supreme in the upcoming second season of the Loki series, nor is it impossible to see Henry Cavill as Hyperion, who in the comics actually ends up joining a newer version of the team after each of the members' universes were destroyed by incursions, something the Doctor Strange movie alluded to. So taking this into an account, it would all make sense. Now, whether or not this happens in the Loki series, it remains to be seen. But make no mistake, bringing Henry Cavill into the MCU is something the actor has been desiring for quite some time too. See you in the next video.